Scotland hosts electrifying competition for UK adventurers and pathfinders. First Adventist Media Center inaugurated in Vanuatu, bringing new hope to the Pacific Islands. Training in Tanzania equips missionaries to reach challenging areas. Adventist Virtual Library relaunches with new visuals and resources for students and educators. These and other amazing news you're seeing now here on ANN News, starting now. Thousands of adventurers and pathfinders from the United Kingdom gathered in Aberdeen, Scotland for the electrifying semifinals of a thrilling Bible competition. The event also reaffirmed the decision of over 70 young people to be baptized.
The bagpipes and the band announce the competition is about to begin. Over 2,000 adventurers and pathfinders gathered for the highly anticipated battle of biblical knowledge, the Adventurer and Pathfinder Bible Experience, hosted by the Seventh-day Adventist Church in the British region. Before the competition, leaders shared messages of faith and overcoming with the competitors. 124 teams participated in the contest, which was a mix of nervousness, concentration, and of course, excitement. When the results were announced, adventurers and pathfinders experienced moments of joy, triumph, and celebrations. Led by England, 84 teams claimed first place. Now, the winners are preparing for the Trans-European Final in Rotterdam, Netherlands, later this month. But beyond the victories in the quiz, the even more emotional moment was when 73 young people decided to dedicate their lives to Jesus, committing to studying the Bible and baptism. The Adventurer and Pathfinder Bible Experience left the young participants with sharpened minds in the Word of God and hearts full of faith, ready for the next stage of their spiritual journey.
In San Fabian, a small community located in the southern region of Chile, an initiative by FE, the Adventist Entrepreneurs Foundation, is supporting the construction of a church in partnership with the members and administration of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. The action of the group, known as Hands at Work, highlights the commitment to proclaim the message of Christ and impact communities where there's no Adventist presence.
It's been 10 years since we've been gathering here as a group in each other's homes, in houses. Well, the gospel touched the heart of all of us here as a group, as a family. And we have seen the need that here in San Fabian, we have to try to share the word of the Lord.
And our biggest concern, if we can gather, is to have our temple in order to work in the community of San Fabian, where there is no Adventist church. We are here, but the place where we are is wonderful. We are in front of the square where we can work with all the children and the family itself, bringing the children, the parents accompany them. Evangelize the youth in order to reach them and do workshops on healthy eating for this community.
That was the group that made the efforts to be able to buy the association, the land, and from there it has been quite difficult for us, to be honest, to build it up. But thanks to the Lord, the brothers have also made a commitment. We are making an offering directed towards the construction of churches, and with that, we have managed to build this.
Trying to do things in a better way, trying to give the support that this project deserves, and well, with all the faith in God. And the goal is to bring more people to the church, because that is the real goal for us.
Join us for the second installment of our captivating series, where we will delve deeper into the inspiring stories of female leaders at ADRA. These remarkable women have been at the forefront of promoting initiatives that leave a lasting impact on global communities. Today, we'll get to know Judith, ADRA Director from Zimbabwe.
I am Judith Mushoshi, and I'm Country Director for ADRA Zimbabwe. I'm in my 10th year with ADRA Zimbabwe. For me, coming to work for ADRA, I considered it a calling because I like working with people and the transformation of their lives. ADRA was my highest level of organizations to work for. I remember the organization I used to work for, when I said I was resigning, they sent the board of directors to discuss options of why or how I could stay on the job. It wasn't because of money, but it was an issue that I felt it was a calling. One of the experiences that I remember very well is when we had a cyclone in our country, which was the first of its kind. ADRA Zimbabwe was the first responded. One of the government officials who were mapping the old roads to see how vehicles can go in, when he saw our ADRA team, he happened to have been Adventist. He said, "ADRA, follow my trails." So because of that, we were the first respondents. Even the players who went to respond, the other NGOs, they only went there with very few people. But ADRA, because of its strength with the church, had the volunteers from the church. And to me, that will always remain as one of the outstanding response, working together with communities, with the church, and with other NGOs and the network. To me, that's one of the strengths that ADRA has. The lesson learned in my years of experience with ADRA is that I cannot do it alone. The strength and the wisdom that I get from knowing that God is behind this work. What I would like the people to know about ADRA is that most of the people who work for and with ADRA are genuine about the work that they do. My hope for ADRA is that ADRA continues true to the mission, true to the purpose of serving humanity so all may live as God intended. My ADRA, my story is that working for ADRA is a calling. My name is Judith Mushoshi, and I am ADRA.
The General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church launched the Mission Impact Fund to invest in significant mission endeavors. Through this fund, local churches lead transformative projects in their communities, yielding inspiring results. Watch now some of these projects around the world.
The Great Hope Daycare and Play Center is the initiative of the Great Hope Adventist Church located in Masvingo, Zimbabwe of the Southern Africa Indian Ocean Division. Children ages 2 to 5 from 5 villages do not have access to early childhood development programs. When children do not attend early development programs, they are at a disadvantage once they enter primary school. Before the daycare and play center could be opened, infrastructure needed to be developed. Land was purchased and fencing erected to secure the project. To provide water, a 40-meter borehole well was drilled and fitted with a pump. Solar power was installed to power the pump. This well was essential in providing water to make 70 metric tons of pit sand, 70 metric tons of river sand, and 35 metric tons of gravel to mold over 38,000 bricks to help with the construction. On May 15, 2023, the Great Hope Daycare and Play Center was officially launched. The impact of the daycare and early childhood development programs on villages in the area is going to be tremendous. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he would not depart from it. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6.
The Moab Manna Potato Ministry is located in Moab, Utah in the North American Division. Since launching this project, the entire church has gotten involved. While some take care of planting potatoes, those members who are less mobile or physically capable assist in removing growth from potato seeds before planting. The need for divine intervention for such a big project spurred fervent prayer among the church members and brought the entire congregation closer. Relationships with their sister church have also been cultivated as they collaborate in helping others. Volunteer community members stayed busy keeping up with the weeding of the potato crops and are eager for the harvest and distribution of the potatoes to those in need. The Moab Manna Potato Project was featured in an issue of a local monthly publication in the Spotlight on the nonprofit section. Potatoes are such a simple thing, and yet the impact is profound.
Primeval is a unique project in our lineup. This is a forensic investigation footage video series focused on the stories of the Bible.
This series will tell Bible stories to a generation that is increasingly disinterested in the Bible. It is a new approach to digital ministry using the oldest book in the world.
Did you know that there was an Adventist missionary in Africa before the church sent John and Andrews to Europe? Find out more on this episode of Mission 150, which recounts the early life of the remarkable Hannah More.
A group of persons who had gathered around the Amistad survivors. These are the group of black slaves on a slave ship who mutinied in 1838 off the coast of Cuba and thought, having taken control of the ship, they would sail to a free state. They sail into New Haven Harbor and are put in prison because they are someone else's property according to the law. Famous court case, ultimately decided by the U.S. Supreme Court, frees them. That the group of evangelicals that had clustered around the Amistad survivors helps them be repatriated to Africa and becomes their support group.
This is the story after the famous movie of about 20 years ago, which stops with the Supreme Court case. So this is where the story continues.
And frankly, Hannah's story, as she supplies it, is the only known after history of the Amistad survivors to date. In fact, a prominent historian of that era of West Africa laments, and I read her work, that we know nothing about the Amistad survivors after they returned to Africa. It's actually not true. She didn't happen to know that there are many letters from Hannah about her experiences with them. Fascinatingly, as she lives with them and hears their story, she retells the Amistad mutiny story as they told it in Africa.
Interesting.
And it's significantly different in its details and in its point than the versions that had come out in the U.S. press, which were mostly negative to this whole mutinous group of slaves. She tells the story as they tell it. She learns their language. She's at a wedding feast. One of them stands up and tells the story. She records the whole thing in a very long letter, which is fascinating in what it provides. She begins to do something that every person in mission ultimately has to wrestle with, to identify with the people she's gone to serve.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Vanuatu, an island nation located in the South Pacific Ocean, inaugurated the first media hub, introducing Adventist Radio Vanuatu 107.5 and Hope Channel TV.
Pastor Charlie Jimmy, president of the local Adventist community, emphasized the launch as a step forward in spreading hope and faith across the islands. Jimmy highlighted the church's commitment to work alongside the government to promote cultural identity and improve health care. The new Adventist Media Center is expected to be a key resource in meeting community needs by offering a range of programs that focus on spiritual growth and health awareness. Dr. Vyacheslav Demyan, president of Hope Channel International, welcomed Vanuatu to the global network, supporting the unique cultural identity and the positive impact the media could have on society.
In the Inter-American region, the Seventh-day Adventist Church launched the newly rebranded Adventist Virtual Library for hundreds of schools and universities throughout the educational system. The event, held at the Central American Adventist University in Alajuela, Costa Rica, was conducted through a live online ceremony. Students, teachers, educators, church leaders, and administrators gathered to witness the new interface, brand, and resources available.
Today we are very happy because we are announcing to everyone who is part of the Adventist educational system in Inter-America the rebranding of our virtual Adventist library of the Inter-American Division. We have worked hard to give a refresh to our library, making it more user-friendly, academic, and above all, attractive to your eyes, and easy to use. We fulfill the mission of the Virtual Adventist Library with excellence, providing you with direct access to all validated resources in a structured way so that all students and teachers can link it to academic education with information, and so that we can make the most of it. Now, with much gratitude to God, because with Him everything is possible, according to Matthew 19:26. For this reason, today we present to you the rebranding of your Virtual Adventist Library with a new logo, a new interface in 3 languages, Spanish, English, and French, a short name, and a new domain.
At the confluence of traditional knowledge and the digital frontier, the new brand of the Adventist Virtual Library, BIVA, is born, a symbol of evolution and accessibility in the information age. This video reveals the meticulous process of creating a brand that symbolizes not only a repository of wisdom, but also a bridge to the globalized educational future. From the dawn of the idea, the team behind BIVA set out to redefine what a virtual library could be in the context of a constantly changing Viva educational community. In the search for a symbol that encapsulated the essence of Viva, timeless concepts were merged with technological innovation. The result was a distinctive logo that combines the universal icon of the book, representing knowledge and learning, with the Wi-Fi symbol, which evokes connectivity, accessibility, and modernity. The choice of typography was no less deliberate. Opting for a rounded font, the team sought to project a modern and accessible image that spoke of the kindness and closeness of BIVA, while ensuring optimal readability on various digital devices. This decision reflects BIVA's commitment to creating an inclusive and adaptable learning environment for the needs of a global audience. The creative process was enriched with the participation of the educational community, gathering contributions from students, educators, and librarians, ensuring that the brand resonated with the experiences and expectations of its end users. This video celebrates the journey of BIVA, from the conception of its new identity to its implementation, highlighting how, through collaboration and vision, a virtual library can become a beacon of knowledge and connectivity in the 21st century.
To access the Adventist Virtual Library, visit biva.interamerica.org. Eden Valley Foster Care, located in Tanzania, has launched a new program to train missionaries to spread the message of God's kingdom. The Medical Missionary School is affiliated with OCI, Outpost Centers International, an NGO dedicated to establishing a global network of lay ministries. Steve Dickman brings more details.
Hi, I'm Steve Dickman, President for Outpost Centers International. I'm here today in the country of Kenya. This is Outpost Centers International on the front lines. We're doing an OCI convention here. Nadesh, you run an operation there in Tanzania. You're an OCI member school there, and we call it the Eden Valley Foster Care. But you've started a new program there as well, training missionaries to go out and reach into some of these areas that are almost unentered. Tell us, what is this? How does this program work? What do you call it? And just describe this missionary training program.
Yes, it's a medical missionary course, actually.
Okay.
But we did not want to call it medical missionary because of the stigma sometimes that comes.
Okay.
I'm a medical doctor. I've been trained, and we are not medical doctors. We're just medical missionaries. So we asked the Lord what to call it, and He said, call it Ministry of Benevolence.
Ministry of Benevolence.
Yes.
Okay, that's a pretty big name.
It's a big name, and so we shorten it to MeBe. And actually, the whole philosophy of the training comes through this acronym. MeBe means I have to be. God is training me to be the person He wants me to be, so that He can empower me to do the things He wants to do through me.
What kind of training do these missionaries get?
So we have Bible, health, and hand skill. All our doctrines and the sanctuary, revelation, and so on. The righteousness by faith, and the health, hydrotherapy, physiology, anatomy, massage, and so on. Just a typical medical missionary course, but also they learn carpentry, sewing, brick making, beekeeping, organic gardening, cosmetics, so hand skills that will make them useful on the mission.
I want 5 of those missionaries to come to me and help me. Give me just 5.
Oh, they are there for you.
Oh, praise God. We don't have 5 today, friends, but we have 1. Ray, you just graduated from this medical missionary MeBe training at the school there in Tanzania. Tell us, how did this impact your life?
So for me, it's really amazing to be in Hidden Valley and the change that I saw in my life, because before there's my relationship with God was not very good. But when I reached there, one thing that had come to my mind for the first time, I believe is God who is talking to me. So is that I was alone, only Ethiopian there in that place. And I realized that God is only my friend. So what I can do is to surrender myself to him, to ask him to guide me during the missionary training. For me, I feel the call that God's want me to go to Ethiopia. As in Ethiopia, it's unreached most of the places, especially in not only my region, but there's some part of Ethiopia which they don't have an idea of 3 angels message. So my plan is the picture that I saw there in Hidden Valley. I say that, and I feel that God is calling me that I could go there and establish the same school which is in Hidden Valley.
I'm very thrilled the way God is leading this. We just started this at the local level. Then we received students from all over Tanzania. And now the Lord has been sending students from Zambia, from Malawi, from Ethiopia. Ethiopia is so far from us, we see. And all of them, they have a desire to replicate the school. And that is our dream. Our dream is to see similar school all over Africa so that we can proclaim the 4th angel's message. There is a lot of ignorance in terms of the messages that God has entrusted to us for the moment. We want to see a people ready to meet their Lord through similar schools replicated throughout Africa.
In Kenya, Miburo was seeking a true spiritual experience. He decided to start his own congregation, but he didn't know that everything was about to change when he began watching the Hope for Africa series sponsored by Hope Channel.
Miburo Balthazar had no idea that his life was about to change when he received an invitation to watch the Hope for Africa series sponsored by Hope Channel. Recently, Hope Channel sponsored this evangelistic event in Kenya. Hundreds of thousands of people experienced life transformation and were baptized through the powerful Word of God, presented at about 10,000 locations throughout East Central Africa, broadcast on Hope Channel platforms, and shared online. Miburo, the founder and leader of a Christian church in the nearby country of Burundi, was invited to watch the event at one of the downlink locations. In 2011, Miburo embarked on a spiritual quest for biblical truth. Frustrated by his search for a church that fully embraced his yearning for authentic spirituality, he established his own congregation. He watched the presentations for 3 days and was captivated by what he learned from the event's main speaker, Pastor Mark Finley. Miburo, eager to share this newfound information, invited his congregation to join him in watching the rest of the programming. Miburo made a life-altering decision, dedicating himself anew to Christ and choosing to be baptized as a Seventh-day Adventist. Half of his congregation joined him after a few days in this transformative journey.
I am extremely happy to have received the message of salvation, and even happier because my congregation willingly joined the Adventist Church. My greatest desire is to see the people in this area come to Christ, because time is very short and Jesus is coming soon.
By the end of the series, the other half of the congregation also embraced the faith and were baptized. This story celebrates the profound influence that Hope Channel programming can have on countless hearts in Africa and around the world. Hope Channel's mission is to share the gospel through a global network. Currently, they broadcast more than 80 channels on television, as well as produce content for social media and digital platforms, including YouTube, in more than 100 languages. Hope Channel celebrated its 20th anniversary in 2023. They seek to extend their network to fulfill Jesus' command to take the gospel to all nations. Please pray for Hope Channel as they open new channels to reach unentered areas. Thank you for supporting the mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
I hope you enjoyed this multicultural experience of news of service, faith, love of neighbor, and hope from the worldwide Seventh-day Adventist Church. Present in over 200 countries, the denomination seeks to be the hands and feet of Christ through its members, leaders, administrative headquarters, institutions, and support ministries. You can access other good news by joining the official channels of the Seventh-day Adventist Church on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and also on the ANN website, adventist.news. Share your faith journey and submit prayer requests on our channels. Our team is committed to praying for you 24/7. Before I say goodbye, I leave you with the inspiring words from the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 6. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Study the Bible daily to discover other wonderful promises of hope. God willing, we will meet in the next edition of ANN Video. God bless you. Take care.